Hey, how's it going? It's Andy Monroe, and in this video, I want to talk about positioning your event. And the strategy that we're going to be using in regard to positioning your event is the red ocean and blue ocean strategy. Now, I'm sure some of you are familiar with this already. This is something that Russell Brunson talks about a lot in his books. He talks about this for, positioning your offer and your business strategically, and the same can be done with events. It's actually very important that you do the same with events, just with how common events are becoming. So, diving in, I don't like to use the word saturated, but events, both in person and virtual, are becoming quite common these days. I'm sure you've seen, on your Instagram timelines, your Facebook profiles, you've been getting ads for different virtual events, different in-person events. And it's not a bad thing, but it just shows that people are catching on to how powerful events can be. And that being said, it's important to position yourself properly so that you get the attention and eyeballs that your event deserves. Now, a lot of people think that in order to stand out, you need to reinvent the wheel, come up with a completely new offer, product, niche, etc. However, that's just not the case. Yes, it's important to differentiate yourself from others in the industry, but you also don't need to go and create the next Amazon to do this. So, like I just said, events are becoming very common, and it might be it might be intimidating. It might be like, oh, I don't want to go out there and try and put my events out into the world, because why would somebody attend my event when there's so many events going on? But that's a very narrow way of thinking, and you can definitely get your event out there and position your event strategically so that you get all the eyeballs that you need and get all the traffic that you need to your event. But how do you do this? How do you stand out in a world where events are becoming more common? And all you really need to do is just find your blue ocean. So let's dive in, let's talk about it, and we'll figure out how to find your blue ocean for your event. So, step number one, you need to ask yourself, what niche are you in? And I would recommend either after this video or even right now, making a copy of this PDF and doing this as you go. It's very important before you start planning your event to understand how you're going to position it. So, even if you don't do this right now, make sure you do it before you start planning your event. So, what niche are you in? It could be real estate, could be investing, could be e-commerce, self-help, motivation, make money online, etc. And it's very likely that this niche is, quote, I know I said I didn't like to say it, but it's likely that this niche is saturated, meaning there's other competition. There's a lot of people out there trying to grab the attention of the consumers of this niche. And this is what we call a red ocean. And it's actually not a bad thing. Don't worry though. A lot of people are intimidated about saturated markets or red oceans, but it's actually a good thing. It shows competition, and competition shows life. And there was a mentor of mine actually once told me that, I'm actually going to type this out, that niches don't become saturated, offers do. So it's not that the niche is saturated. If we look at e-commerce, it's not that e-commerce is saturated, but I've probably seen 150 companies say, I'm going to teach you how to drop ship. And that's their offer, is like, take this course to learn how to drop ship and make $10,000 a month. That offer is overdone, and people have seen it before, and people have probably gotten burned by it before. But if you can find a way to structure your offer in a way that's different than the rest of your industry, that's going to make it rain for you. So, niches don't become saturated, offers do. So let's go one layer deeper. So what sub niche are you in? Could be flipping homes if you're in real estate. It could be crypto if you're in investing. If you're in self-help, it could be letting go of past traumas. It's just like going one layer deeper. What niche are you actually serving that's one layer deeper than the one that you just put for step number one? Now, step number three, what problem are you solving for this niche? Now, you could be teaching house flippers how to scale their operations. You could be teaching investors how to trade altcoins. You could be teaching middle-aged men how to let go past childhood traumas. Now we're getting somewhere. So we just went from self-help. If you right now, or go back to step number one, if right here you were saying, I'm going to host an event on self-help, the self-help conference, come learn about self-help. You're not going to sell very many tickets to that event because people have seen so much self-help content out there. And also they're probably just not going to attend an event that is like that broad and that general. Or, even like the e-commerce, come attend the e-commerce summit. It's very hard to get people to come and attend something that's so broad. I guarantee there's already a large e-commerce summit that goes on. So why would you try and copy what they're doing? Or come attend the real estate summit. Do you know how many real estate summits are going on right now? come attend the investing summit. Come learn how to make money online at the Make Money Online Summit. Like these, you can see why these wouldn't work for an event. But if you come down here and you land on house flipping, learning how to scale your house flipping operations, that's a good hook for an event. Or trading altcoins, like the altcoin conference. That's probably done already. It might be a little saturated as well, but that's one layer deeper than just investing. It's like altcoins is like a specific category within investing, and there's going to be people that speaks to. This one really would be powerful, teaching middle-aged men how to let go of past traumas from childhood. That is such a specific event type, such a specific niche, that if you started running ads to that, or if you started to market that online, either organically or through paid advertising, it might not get the best like CPMs. There might be not be that many people in this niche as there would be in just self-help. However, every person that sees this that it resonates with, it's gonna they're gonna tend to it's not no questions asked. So now we're getting somewhere. So step number 4: is there someone already solving this problem in your sub niche? If so, who? If you can't think of any, I would recommend taking some time to do some research. There's been times in the past where I've thought I came up with I'm the first one to think of an idea, and then I go and do some research to find out that 5 other people already do this. So make sure you do your research. If you still can't find any, then boom, there you go. You found your blue ocean. A blue ocean is essentially you can visualize it. A red ocean is filled with blood from all the sharks and everything, a lot of chaos. But a blue ocean is open. There's not as much competition, not as much sharks eating other fish, and it's a good place to position your event. And you can see how this blue ocean exists within a red ocean. Let's use the teaching middle-aged men to let go of their past traumas example. That exists within the self-help niche, which some could argue is saturated. However, with just going deep and finding out exactly what problem you solve, that's where you separate yourself, and that's where you find your blue ocean. And that's something that we can work with. So if there are a lot of people that solve the exact same problem as you, like maybe there are 5 other companies that also teach grown men or middle-aged men how to let go of their past traumas, let's go a little deeper. It's like, what's your unique mechanism? What strategy do you use? What demographic do you target? It's likely that you are at least slightly different from all your competition in some way. Find that and use it to position yourself in your own blue ocean. So maybe your competition teaches middle-aged men how to let go of past traumas through through dialogue, through conversational therapy. And maybe your strategy is that you teach middle-aged men how to let go of past traumas through meditation. So meditation is your unique mechanism, and you can lean into that and use it to position yourself in a slightly different area of that sub niche that you're in. So hopefully this is all making sense. Now, step number 6 is a bonus: is any of your competition hosting events? Now, this is actually something that's interesting. If you have a lot of competition in an industry, however, none of them are hosting events, then that is a good way to position yourself in your own blue ocean, is by hosting an event. Maybe going back to e-commerce, if there's 150 offers about starting a drop shipping business and scaling to $10,000 a month, but there's no drop shipping conferences or no drop shipping challenges going on, then launch your own drop shipping challenge, and people are going to be attracted to that new offer. It's pretty simple when you think of it. You just need to do something slightly different than everyone else is doing, which is not that difficult to do. So using an example, I'm going to use an example of the from the thinking versus referencing video, which is our event Fun Launch Live that we hosted. So we actually did this exact same process when we were going through the creation of this event. So number 1 is, what niche are you in? The niche was investing. And what sub niche are you in? Is we taught people about investment funds. And what problem are we solving for this niche? Is we teach emerging managers how to launch and scale funds. So we just didn't teach people about investment funds. We taught them how to launch and scale funds. And then, up here in investing, that was a very saturated market. And even teaching people about investment funds, there were some YouTube creators, there were some, I'm blanking the name of that one company that makes all those courses. You can buy a course on anything from them. But there are a lot of courses out there about funds, especially hedge funds. However, there wasn't anybody out there teaching emerging managers how to launch and scale funds, especially going even further. When we're doing this, is teaching emerging managers how to launch and scale funds. And then I'll just put in parentheses, emerging managers that had no Wall Street experience or Ivy League degree. So this is pretty rare in the investment fund spaces. A lot of times people think that in order to start an investment fund, you have to go and you have to work on Wall Street for 15 to 20 years, or you have to go to an Ivy League school and you go to Harvard, go to Stanford, whatever it is. But our whole messaging was we're going to teach you how to launch a fund, and we're going to teach you how to do it without going and spending 20 years on Wall Street or without an Ivy League degree, which was a very small niche within this niche of investing. And it worked really well because there was nobody else that was talking about that. And that's how we were able to position that business strategically. And we were also able to position Fund Launch Live, the event, strategically as well. So you can see how this works for both selecting like your business, your niche of your business, and also the niche of your event. So see, if we would have centered the events for this business around investing, it would have been much harder to market because there are already so many investor events out there. However, we found ourselves in a blue ocean by teaching emerging fund managers how to launch and scale funds. As you can see, it's 100% possible and most common to create blue oceans within red oceans. These days, it's very, very rare for somebody to go out and create something that's brand new. It's honestly, I'd say it's riskier to go out and try and start something that's brand new rather than just finding a red ocean and finding a way to position yourself within that red ocean to create your own little blue ocean. So you don't need to change your business or your niche. Just go deep until you find out what your edge is against your event. That is strategic positioning. So when you are planning your event, and we can talk about this on your individual coaching calls when we're like kind of going through the design phase, but we need to find a way to position your event that is strategic and sets yourself apart from the rest of your competition. All right. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.